And welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. And I hope you're having a good day. And what are we doing? We have in-studio guests today. Dr. Sally Byrd is here. And that voice you hear in the background is Gary talking to Dr. Byrd off mic. And Stephen is behind the glass, and you're there. I'm here. It's all good, and we're coast to coast and global, and we like it like that. There's a song, something with that line in it, like it like that. And Dr. Byrd is always makes for a good guest. She's always up to something. She just got back from Australia, swimming with the fishes, I hear. So we'll have to find out what was going on there in Australia, and we'll get dialed into the food. Anytime guests come in from another country and are traveling around the world, I'm always asking about the food. What's it like? What goes on? This and that. Food culture. Big deal. Big impact on our health. It's having an impact on us. Our food culture, it's in a state of metabolic disarray. I could say some other things, but this is a daytime show. And we love doing it, by the way. And it is the holidays. We're caught up in it. Talked about it yesterday, focusing on stress. And we got some response to that, and we'll keep after it. We love it when you connect, and we just connected with a new affiliate. So as it turns out, I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. All right, right outside Pittsburgh, about 40 miles, 44 miles, 45 miles or so northeast of Pittsburgh, is a place called Katanning. I've been to Katanning. Salt of the earth, people. Hardworking. I grew up in a blue-collar neighborhood myself, all immigrants, including my family. Katanning is... I just opened my email a little while ago and saw that we added the affiliate. And I'm so happy about that. I'm fond of that area. That's where you're raised. You just, it's all good. How about that, Gary? Right? We were in downtown Pittsburgh. We were in a station. It was right in downtown. And my understanding is we're no longer broadcasting from there. And it broke my heart when, and I'm not sure what the reasons were, but we were right in the city. But now we're close. We're 44 miles northeast of it in Katanning. You've never been up in that neck of the woods.
No, I haven't. I've been to Hershey one time, and that was about it.
Hershey's beautiful.
It was the winter time, and there was snow.
It's beautiful. I used to go to Hershey during the summertime when I played in professional drum corps when I was a boy. And we would travel around the state competing. We used to go to Hershey. It was a big deal. And so, we want to welcome this new affiliate. This is really good. It's WTYM 1380 on the AM dial. And I want to thank the station for giving us the opportunity to come into Katanning. We've been doing this about a dozen years now, and we keep growing, keep expanding across the U.S. We just went into Liberal, Kansas. That's the name of the place. I'm not being political. I'm just so we're excited, and Katanning has an interesting history. It's Pittsburgh. Just the people, blue collar. At one time, people in Katanning will tell you It's on the east bank of the Allegheny River, and its history is one of, people, the mills, the steel mills and whatnot, along the river. Things change, though, over time. Maybe if we get a chance, I'll get into that a little bit. But I'm just real happy to be in that neck of the woods. So we want to welcome all the good people in Katanning. I've been there, man. It's so odd. Little did I know that so many decades later, I would be producing and hosting a nationally syndicated show that I would be mentioning Katanning. I didn't know that then. But welcome to the show, and we appreciate your airing the show. We're grateful. Here's how you can connect. It's easy. We have several ways now, and we keep trying to find other ways, too. Go ahead, Gary, tell them.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255, 877-897-8255, or anywhere in the world at 813-636-8255. Dr. Garko's personal email is drgarko at letstalknutrition.com. Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition, and on Twitter at LTN Radio.
Okay. Quiz. We'll see how dialed in Dr. Byrd is. Because we're just trying to keep up with all the trending that's going on out there in the world. Is anybody in the studio familiar with the AIP diet? Crickets, and I get nothing. You need to turn her mic on. You need to get your mic, Dr. Byrd. Get her sit up, man. Ooh, there you go. AIP. Anybody know what the AIP diet is? You know, Dr. Byrd?
Not yet.
That's Dr. Sally Byrd is in studio, and we're happy to have her. She just got back from Australia. It's not the Australian insane protocol or something like that. No. Any takers? AIP diet. No takers. How about autoimmune protocol? It's designed to reduce inflammation and relieve the symptoms of autoimmune diseases. Admittedly, I didn't know what it was either.
Well, we know it as we know what to do for autoimmune protocols. We just don't have all the trending terms.
So autoimmune diseases are becoming more and more, it seems, more and more diagnosed and prevalent. Mm-hmm. It's not, it could be a function of two things. One, that it's really happening, or that it was always there and we're just more aware. And that's why there's an increase where there's more reporting of it. Doctors are more dialed into it. Or that it was always there and we're just more. What was that? We got an echo. Mm-hmm. And that's so autoimmune diseases, certainly heredity is involved. No doubt about it. But sometimes we can make it worse by the way we eat in particular and the way we live. And autoimmune diseases are arthritis falls into that category, all the different forms of arthritis, like rheumatoid arthritis. This is when your autoimmune. This is when your immune system begins to lose its ability to identify you and something that doesn't belong in your body and mistakes one for the other. And it starts attacking and damaging your own tissues. And inflammation is the common feature of autoimmune diseases. We come back, we'll talk, I'll tell you more.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day. giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Figure's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. If you just dialed in, welcome to the show. Talking about this new diet that's out there now. It's an autoimmune diet. I'm going to resume that in a second. We have a caller, and I don't like to leave callers hanging out there. He's in Yorktown, Virginia. And let's go to Mitchell. Mitchell, welcome to the show, and
Hello.
Happy holidays, man.
You too, nigga.
How are you?
I want to talk about how
Ooh. What did he say? Oh. He dumped them. He said something that, okay. So we're back. This new diet, it's a new diet, I guess, but it's an old issue, and it's called the AIP diet, autoimmune protocol, and Dr. Sally Byrd's in studio. I'm going to get her help on this and get her to talk about it. She knows a thing or two about not necessarily the diet. I didn't know much about it. I hadn't heard about it until it came across the transom. But it deals with inflammation. And it deals with your immune system when it goes haywire and starts to mistake your tissues as foreign invader of one sort or another. And like rheumatoid arthritis, for example. Inflammation is the common feature. It's the defining feature, in fact, of autoimmune diseases. Psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, I can go down the list. And it seems more prevalent now than it ever did before. One wonders, is it because doctors are just more aware and diagnosing it more? Or is there something going on in the culture, the food culture, or the culture generally in terms of lifestyle that's causing these autoimmune diseases to become more prevalent? So, Dr. Byrd, this diet is my presumption is that it's supposed to help moderate the inflammation. But this isn't a new idea, is it? I mean,
no, of course not. Many people that we've been dealing with for many years have reports of inflammation and outbreaks of redness, rashes, pain, and it's been very common. We just haven't heard of this acronym AIP before, and I haven't seen, I don't know if you've looked at it, what the exact protocol is. We have ideas, of course. You know.
There's certain foods. Here's something you should know. Also, it's also known as the Paleo Autoimmune Protocol, PAP. Okay? All these acronyms. The AIP is a stricter version of the paleo diet. Be mindful. The paleo diet is based on meat, fish, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. That's what they say. But that diet is heavily meat-dominated, the paleo diet. Eating a lot of protein. But nevertheless, the AIP, this diet is based on the idea that autoimmune conditions are caused by, guess what? A plumbing issue.
What?
Something that leaks.
Leaky gut.
Thank you very much.
Leaky gut is a big problem, and it's getting worse.
That's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm down with that. Permeability, intestinal permeability is an issue here. I sort of have to smile about this because years ago, and Dr. Byrd will confirm this, if you said leaky gut, people looked at you like, some goofball and say, what's wrong with that individual? It was laughed at. Now, it's in the scientific literature, right, Dr. Byrd?
Yes, it is.
I'm not exaggerating.
And it's growing. People are suffering all kinds of things. Even parasites can cause the inflammation.
Okay, so this leaky gut, it's called altered intestinal permeability. Altered intestinal permeability. The gut has to be permeable because the small intestine, for example, once the food is digested, it's got to get into the bloodstream. So it's got to be able to make its way through the intestinal wall. The problem is, like on shingles in a roof, when the shingles get too separated from one another, what happens? The roof leaks. Same thing here. The cells are not tightly junctured, and they're open. There's space, and the gut starts to leak, and lets in proteins and other elements that don't belong in the bloodstream. The body rebels immediately. The immune system gets called into action. And as these proteins or whatever these foreign materials are floating around in the bloodstream, wherever they go, the body starts to attack it. If they end up in joints, the body's going to attack the joint or wherever. And it's a huge problem. I mean, you suffer mightily with these autoimmune diseases. So that's the heart and soul of this whole issue. I'm glad you're here because I know that you spend a lot of time with people talking about it. And you've been around long enough. You remember the days when people would talk about leaky gut and they looked at you like, you're strange.
It's also known as sometimes acid reflux is leaky gut for those listening.
Really?
Yeah.
I never made that.
Sometimes it's very connected, and usually people with acid reflux have leaky gut. They just aren't aware of it.
Okay.
No, I'm aware I have acid reflux. No, trust me. Last night I thought my throat was on fire for about an hour.
That's stress.
Yeah. I don't know why.
It's stress. It's the holidays.
That's right.
Come back. We're going to talk about intestinal permeability, leaky gut, autoimmune, and your health.
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
It's simply amazing how at one point in time, certain concepts or principles are derided, ridiculed, and you're, run out of town if you talk about them. And then 10, 20 years later, all of a sudden, the most prestigious of the prestige are talking about it. And, leaky gut is one of those concepts. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. 20 years ago or so, that was, that term, that concept was used, and traditional medicine just ridiculed the devil out of it. Now, they call it intestinal permeability, not leaky gut. But let me set this up for you to talk about this so-called new diet, which in some ways I have issues with. Intestinal permeability, your intestines, permeability. What are we talking about? That describes the control of material that passes from the inside of your gastrointestinal tract through the cells, the epithelial cells lining the gut wall, into the body, into the rest of the body. The intestine, it normally has some permeability. It's important that it does, because if it didn't, the nutrients in the small intestine wouldn't be able to pass through that wall into the bloodstream, and you would die from malnutrition. So it allows the nutrients to pass through the gut. All right? That's why it's somewhat permeable. While it also, though, is a barrier to keep harmful foreign substances such as antigens out of the bloodstream and from leaving the intestine and migrating into the body through the bloodstream. So the wall, the intestinal wall, the gut lining is on the one hand allows nutrients to get into the bloodstream. On the other hand, is a barrier to prevent other elements that don't belong in the bloodstream or materials and from getting into the bloodstream. That's called intestinal permeability. So it's important. So the barrier formed by the intestinal epithelium, the lining of your gut is made up of epithelial cells. That's what separates the external environment, the contents of the intestine from the body. That's the barrier. And some say it's the most extensive and important mucosal surface of the body. I tend to agree. Your thoughts, Dr. Byrd?
Yes, it is. And a lot of people are treating their symptoms for other things when really it's a gut issue. And that's what I guess we're discussing today, and things that you can do about it. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of other, quote, illnesses, diseases that are linked to this that our listeners may not know that it's related. And that's what we need to flush out. This
is really critical to grasp this concept. Mm-hmm. Your intestinal lining, it acts as a barrier. I can't emphasize that enough. It's a barrier. It prevents these harmful substances, these foreign antigens, toxins, microorganisms from getting into the bloodstream. And secondly, it's a selective filter and facilitates the uptake of dietary nutrients into the bloodstream, electrolytes as well, water, and other substances that we need to survive.
So let me ask you, if you go to the restroom and you have undigested food, you have issues then, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Mm-hmm. What's happened? That's sort of a different issue, but related. If the food is undigested, that's you most likely you probably have proteins leaking through that epithelium in your small intestine. That usually, it's not just that you're not able to digest food. There's usually other things going on in that digestive tract. You have a lot of comorbidity going on in that diet. You could have diverticulitis, colitis, and something else going on all at the same time.
Yes, and it's all related to inflammation and the gut's not working properly, and you probably is linked to a leaky gut situation.
So, all I can tell you is this. This is my opinion now.
Mm-hmm.
It's an opinion. This is an opinion. A gut lining that is excessively permeable is a prescription, almost 100% for illness, sickness, usually autoimmune. Almost 100% guaranteed. It's almost inescapable. In my opinion, it is one of the most. It's among the simplest concepts, but one of the most important concepts to try and establish good health. If that lining is leaking, if your intestinal lining is leaking, you have excessive intestinal permeability, where you don't have tight junctions between the cells. That single issue is at the top of my list of trying to improve people's health, or it's at the top of the list in identifying some of the maladies of modern society. And it's some of the food that we're eating that's causing this too, right?
Yes, it's usually grains is number one.
All right, let's talk about that.
It's usually grains, coffee, dairy are on the top of the list.
Okay, what about meat?
Meat in certain people depends on the type of meat.
Why? What are the grains doing that's causing the gut to leak?
It's causing inflammation because a lot of us aren't digesting them well.
Okay, so all right, so because I eat grains. I don't care about wheat belly and grain brain and all that other stuff. I'm not down with that at all. I'm just not there. I mean, my God, if you listen to all these experts, by the time you're done, the only thing you're going to be consuming is water.
I know.
Double filtered from a stream out of Tibet. Yeah.
Yeah, or you sneak into a Catholic church and get some holy water. I don't know. So it's not the grains.
It depends on the individual, Doc, and you got to take it case by case.
Do you think grains should be banned? Is that what you're saying?
No, but U.S. wheat is very damaging to the gut.
So is it the grains? Is it the way the grains are grown? Is it that they're not whole grains? The grains are processed? You need to clean that up a little bit.
It's a combination.
All right. When we come back, I'll leave it to you because, all right, you'll see. I'll give you my point of view.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Kara, welcome to the show. You had a question about leaky gut.
Hi, yes. I guess my question is I do suffer from multiple sclerosis, but I don't seem to have like digestive issues. Like I don't get heartburn or anything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
Could it still be a problem?
In other words, can you have leaky gut and not have symptoms? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Uh-huh. I'll let Dr. Byrd take a crack at that, and then I'll give you my take.
Thank you.
Usually there are symptoms, and they can be from any pain anywhere in the body to even a headache or chronic sinusitis. Simple things. It doesn't have to be something severe. But yes, if you have a leaky gut, there will be a symptom usually, but you may not link it to that issue. What do you think, Doc?
Will it get better or worse over time?
What's that, Kara?
I have mobility issues.
Yes, if you eat a diet high in carbohydrates and especially U.S. wheat that's not sprouted or organic, I'm not, there's a lot of factors here. If you're a heavy coffee drinker,
I don't drink coffee.
Heavy potatoes, white potatoes. So there's maybe other factors involved.
There are some classic signs and symptoms of intestinal permeability where your gut is leaking, that is. Chronic diarrhea and constipation, gas and bloating. Those are classic.
I don't have any.
Okay.
I don't have those symptoms.
Sometimes people will end up with nutritional deficiencies, poor immune system functioning, headaches, brain fog, memory loss, excessive fatigue is yet another sign or
symptom. I do have memory loss. I've got a horrible memory.
Do you? Let me. When were you diagnosed? May I ask when you were diagnosed with multiple sclerosis?
In 1995.
How old were you then?
21.
Wow.
I'm 44 now.
How have you managed it? What have you done?
I never really had any symptoms to maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and the walking just started. I first started to look like I was limping and stuff like that, but now I have a hard time walking. Like I have to look and I have to concentrate on my walking, and I can take 20, 30 steps at a time at max.
Do you eat a particular way to help moderate the
Well, I did.
MS?
I mean, I get blood work done every month, but after I was diagnosed, I was vegetarian. I didn't eat any. I didn't eat meat. I didn't eat meat, fish, or chicken. But he had me after my blood work. Again, it was 20-something years ago. He told me to start including meat into my diet. So I do eat some meat now, but I don't eat a lot of potatoes or anything. I mean, I love like pasta, but I eat pasta, maybe a couple times a month.
There's some thought that certainly inflammation is implicated with multiple sclerosis, and you'll see when you get into the literature, you'll start to see discussions about anti-inflammatory type of foods that should be consumed with multiple sclerosis. MS is an inflammatory disease. Did your doctor ever say that to you?
Yes, I know that.
Yeah. But
I never associate it with my gut.
Mm-hmm. And so the foods can cause the inflammation to be exacerbated. So you have to watch what you eat. So there is quite a bit out there. Turmeric always comes up. Eating fatty fish, it's recommended for multiple sclerosis. Fruits and vegetables, because of the antioxidants and the phytochemicals and the antioxidants.
He has me taking a lot of fish pills. I do the Nordic Naturals.
Oh, Nordic Naturals. Okay. They do very well. They have.
It says take as many as you can tolerate.
As many as you can tolerate because it's anti-inflammatory. Turmeric is also plants. It's a spice, of course, from plants, from curcumin. It fights inflammation, and there is some discussion about turmeric and multiple sclerosis and taking turmeric. You have to get the right form of turmeric. That's more bioavailable. Natural Factors has a good one called Theracuramin. They have a delivery system that allows the molecules to get into the cell. So that's another thing that's discussed in the literature. Do you find that if you eat certain foods, things get worse for you?
Sometimes if I eat too much.
Eat too much.
It's more of a quantity thing. If I eat too, I'm not overweight.
I understand.
If, I sit down or I'm talking and really mindless of a thing, and I realize I'm eating too much. It's like, oh, I'm full. Then I'll have problems. But it's more of a quantity as opposed to
fresh ginger has been known
a lot of ginger
as an anti-neuroinflammatory. Dr. Byrd,
I'm holding up a green tea.
She's a big fan of ginger extract. Is avocados, which have fat in them, is sometimes talked about in the literature as good for MS. So you got to watch with the oils. You got to be careful. I don't know. Do you find it? Do you eat butter and things like that? Fatty foods like?
I do. I do eat butter. I cook with olive oil, but
yeah,
I do eat butter.
Yeah, boy, you're very brave. Multiple sclerosis is so tough. I applaud you for thinking about it, working on it. I'm sure you're mindful of it, and we appreciate.
I don't really have a choice.
Well. You're making good choices, though. I know, but some people just give up and don't care. It doesn't sound like you have taken that path. You sound like you're doing a different way, and that sounds like a good way to me. We'll think about you. Thank you for calling. Thank you for sharing, and the healthiest of holidays. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. And happy holidays to you and yours. We're into that time of season, and this is when things that are not working well. Here's a simple principle. Things that are bad usually get worse. Things that are good usually get better. That's a good rule of thumb. I find it useful to think about things like that. Things that are bad usually get worse. Things that are good typically get better.
Thanks.
I'm just saying. And this certainly has great application to one's health. During the holidays, this is interesting. Think about this. Given the stress that is associated with it, and I established that yesterday for sure, the holidays are, you don't need me to tell you. Stress will find the weakest portion of your health and anatomy, and it will manifest itself there for sure. You talk to people that are in a lot of stress, say, oh my, when I'm under a lot of stress, my lower back, or some people will say my neck. Some people, they'll identify different parts of their anatomy, and they know that they're stressed. Or they'll get severe headaches, whatever it might be. Everybody's different. Stress has that unique ability. Now, given that assumption that the holidays are stressful, and the stress levels are higher during the holidays than at other times, and that even the most Zen-like of people can fall prey to it, when you have digestive issues, that more often than not, the stress will exacerbate them and make them worse. When things are bad, they can get worse. They typically get worse. Stress is one of the factors that makes bad things get worse, especially with digestive health. And during the holidays, digestive issues are in full play. Constipation, diarrhea, gas, bloating, pain, stomach pain, diverticulosis flare-ups called diverticulitis. Colitis gets worse. Irritable bowel syndrome gets worse. Everything gets worse. Bad things get worse. And it's the stress. And if you have leaky gut, where the intestinal barrier, the tight junctions between the cells is not as tight as they should be, now you really have issues. This whole business about intestinal permeability is of critical importance. It's hard to talk about on air. It really is, because it's complicated. And I'm trying to do it in a way, if I can do nothing else today with Dr. Byrd, who's in studio, is raise your consciousness about it, then we've done a good job. Solve it? I don't know about solve. We can give you some recommendations, what the literature suggests to do and not to do to help repair that intestinal lining, or not to make it worse, not to make a bad thing get worse. As I alluded to, Dr. Sally Byrd is in studio today. Dr. Byrd has been in the world of natural health and medicine and in the natural products industry for decades, and always has good practical common sense insight into how to handle things. Dr. Byrd, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition and your vacation in Australia with your beautiful daughter.
Thank you.
I still can't believe that's your daughter. I saw Dr. Byrd on my Facebook page, and I saw this woman with her, and I said, oh, Dr. Byrd has a lady friend in Australia. They're diving together. Yeah, it's her lady friend. It's her daughter. She's beautiful.
She is.
Yeah. Congratulations. How was Australia, hon?
Amazing.
You liked it?
Love it.
You're a diver. You like to dive, right?
Yes.
I have my certificate, but I'd have to go. I wouldn't.
We'll take you, Doc.
I wouldn't put any tanks on right now, and I'd have to go get a refresher course. I'd be
that would be a good goal. We should go diving.
I've never been. I don't even.
Yeah, it's
It's
different.
the best. We're talking about stress release. It's like Zen world down there.
It is. Can be.
It's wonderful.
So, what did you eat? You had trouble with food, huh?
Yes, because we did a few days on a liveaboard, which means you live out on a boat in the middle of the Great Barrier Reef, and you have to eat what they feed you, or you don't eat. And you burn up a lot of calories, swimming, diving, four times a day.
What were they feeding you?
A lot of potatoes, white potatoes.
Yeah, that's not good for you.
Not good for me at all, because you could feel the
Pro-inflammatory?
inflammation. Very inflammatory. The eggs were great. They served a lot of meat and a lot of carbs. So you have to make choices. They did have a variety of
What about
teas.
fish?
They had fish only once.
My God, you're in a place where all the fish are.
Well, you're not allowed to fish and eat the fish off the Great Barrier Reef because you're down, it's protected. You have to go elsewhere.
That's ironic. So let me see.
We did have lamb.
They're in the middle of the ocean where there's more fish than they have sense, and they eat beef.
The beef, lamb, they served pork. They served these huge steaks, which I didn't even eat that. But one wonderful vegetable they served a lot was pumpkin.
I like pumpkin.
And it was fantastic.
How did they serve that up?
They just baked it.
Oh.
They baked it and put a little olive oil on it. It was delicious.
Does it taste sweet?
It was sweet. Mm-hmm.
All right. How many days were you there?
Just 5 days. That was it.
5 days.
Quick trip.
How long did it take to get to Australia from U.S.?
20 it's about 14 hours to Sydney from L.A., and then another 3 hours up to Queensland to the Cairns airport.
Well,
that's where you take the dive boats.
You and your daughter.
Yeah.
She's lovely. I saw you on my Facebook page. I said, Dr. Bird's got a lady friend in Australia. Look at that. She got friends everywhere.
We do. Plus, we actually gave some silver out to a lot of people over there. I can't help it, And it helps with jellyfish stings. We learned that.
So you got
on
stung
the dive
by
boat, got stung by a jellyfish, small one.
You used some Silverbiotics.
They got me on the lip,
So you used the cream.
I used the gel immediately. The gel goes right on the sting. Right afterwards, you have a little one there.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little tube of the gel.
Yep.
Would the gel help with dark circles or black eyes? No.
It'll reduce the inflammation. I'd layer it with arnica over it.
Let me ask you. I know this is off topic.
Yes.
In the high-end beauty salons now, estheticians are using the Silverbiotics silver gel,
yes.
and they're using the advanced healing skin cream.
Yes.
Are they putting this on as a base layer for makeup?
The silver gel is a makeup primer. So they would put this on before color makeup and after the day treatment, after the day cream.
Would you put, because I got this question the other day.
Okay.
A woman asked me, do you put the silver gel on before you put like collagen or hyaluronic acid? Or
mix it with it. You can mix it in your hand and apply it if you're putting a serum on. She's probably talking about a serum.
Talking about serums.
You can put them both in together and layer from the décolleté up to the forehead, or put the silver on first, then the serum, and the gel frequency will pull it into the skin deeper. You'll have better results.
So what are you saying?
Either way. It's
either
a personal choice.
You could put it on the skin first before you put any of the serum.
Put anything on because it gets the skin ready to take the active nutrients deeper in.
Okay, so after you put the serums on your face, whether it be hyaluronic acid, collagen, or whatever, and along with the silver,
right?
And you want to put like alpha lipoic acid cream or vitamin,
put the cream on.
Then you can put the cream on last.
Yes.
All right. Mm-hmm. I hope that answers some of the questions I had about how to do the makeup with the
it's
silver.
It's fantastic.
We're going to talk about Silverbiotics. Great product. American Biotech Labs. We'll be right back.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilomax, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
So, what would your gut have to do with having a better holiday? Answer: plenty. Especially if your gut's leaking. You fix your roof, fix your gut. You wouldn't stand for a leaky roof. Don't stand for a leak, and don't sit for one either. a leaky gut. Bad news. In my opinion, it is one of the most devastating conditions leading to all sorts of downstream effects and problems. Everything from inflammation to pain to you name it. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. My guest is Dr. Sally Byrd, and stress will make that leaky gut leak worse, even more so, and your diet is critical. Eating crappy food, not getting enough sleep and rest, not managing the stress, junk food, lots of salt, sugar, and fat, processed foods. Last thing you need to do. It's like if you had a leaky roof, eating those kinds of foods, it'd be like going up on the roof and the shingles are already loose and separated, and you just kicking them and making them even more loose and separated. That's what that food is doing. You don't need it. And you can repair that gut.
Absolutely.
You know? And what would you do, Dr. Byrd? What does the science of gastrointestinal health say?
Well, number one would be an amino acid called L-glutamine, which I know you love.
Sign me up.
Which I know you love because it's a pure protein that will help. Also, colostrum. There's a lot of research on colostrum in leaky gut.
Explain what colostrum is.
It's the first milking from usually cows. They're not using humans for breastfeeding, but they're using it's called immunoglobulin. It's a fatty, waxy substance when the milk starts to form, and it's processed into a colostrum, and it helps your overall immune. It actually has been researched heavily for autoimmune protocols and diseases, and it gives you what you need to fend it off. But it will help actually heal the tissue in the gut, along with collagen and zinc, very common things. And then you can add the silver into it because of the molecules of the food that are getting into the gut and causing the problems. Anything that may be attached to bacteria, viruses, mold, and yeast from high carbohydrate foods, that's where the silver comes in.
And she's referring,
so it's a combination.
Dr. Byrd is referring to American Biotech Labs. She's an educator for them in spirit of transparency. And the Silverbiotics product. And here's a big bottle of it. I'm holding it up. And during the holidays...
Absolutely. I would go up to 3 tablespoons a day if you have a leaky gut issue.
I drink it out of the bottle.
Yeah. So do I.
When I was a kid,
because we thought so. Me, Ange, and Ethan both take it, and I was making sure we could drink it out of the bottle. We were mixing it with some water. Putting it
I thought you were going to say martinis.
Some people do.
You don't need to Jack Daniels. No, you don't need to mix it with water. No taste. Just put it, drink it out of if you have your own bottle, drink it out of the bottle, pour it in a glass.
I know I didn't get sick when I rode up to North Carolina. I was kind of excited about that.
It does help.
So if a person has leaky gut, it's not as if the Silverbiotics, the silver is going to repair the gut, but it's going to help with the bacteria or antigens or whatever that's trying to get into the bloodstream, right?
Correct.
The viruses and the bacteria.
Yeah. Number one, they really need L-glutamine. They really do. And colostrum would be my number 2.
What is it about Australia and colostrum?
Australia and New Zealand are known for colostrum because there are cleaner countries. There's a lot of grass-fed whey products coming from there. So the whole industry, the cattle industry, they're not given as many growth hormones. It's just a cleaner area. They don't allow genetically modified food into the country at this time. So that's why we even source our honey from there, because it's cleaner. The Manuka honey is very popular. But they're pretty strict on what they import into the country. No.
So, but you'll find in the literature, the science, you'll find L-glutamine mentioned. L-glutamine is, I think, the most abundant protein in the body. And you take the L-glutamine typically on an empty stomach, and it's a powder. Mix it with water. It's tasteless. Follow the directions. And that helped me a lot when I was going through chemo and radiation with my gut. Helped me a lot. I didn't catch it. I didn't take it quick enough because I had done some research saying that L-glutamine would help with mucositis. Is where the mucosa in the lining of the mouth and the gut get destroyed from the chemo or the radiation. And the pain associated with oral mucositis, that pain, that will bring you to your knees. I don't care who you are. You can be 6'6" and a Navy SEAL and think you're a tough guy. Yeah? Let me tell you something. It's cosmically humbling.
Doc, you can also mix the glutamine right in with your silver. You can mix those too.
Okay, there you go.
It's easy to make it easier for people.
This is the Silverbiotics is a wonderful silver product. This is not your grandmother's silver. Do not be making silver at home in the bathtub. Stop that. It's dangerous. You don't need to do that. Dr. Byrd's come back, and she's going to explain why you don't need to do that and why American Biotech Labs, their product, is what you need to do. Why complicate your life making your own silver? Please don't do that. Please.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
So why do you have a gut barrier? Answer, so you don't get sick. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Talking about that today and the concept of intestinal barrier and intestinal permeability. Sometimes those terms are used interchangeably, some confusion. So you understand, the intestinal barrier is a surface that covers quite a bit of area, 400 millimeters squared. You do the math. And requires about 40% of the body's energy expenditure to maintain that barrier. You getting that? You see that? How important it is? That's always a good sign that something's important in the body. When it takes a lot of energy to maintain that system, that should get your attention. About 40% of the body's energy expenditure is associated with that intestinal barrier. When we talk about the gut, we're talking about the intestines. Small intestine, typically large intestine. Typically, that's what we mean by the gut. Some may throw the stomach in there, I don't know. But I typically think of the intestines. That barrier that you and I have and other organisms prevents the loss of water and electrolytes. It prevents the entry of antigens that don't belong in your body, and microorganisms from getting into the body. And it also then allows, an exchange of molecules between you as a host and the environment, that which is outside of you and which is outside of your intestine. And it allows for the absorption of nutrients into the bloodstream from the food that you eat. It happens in the small intestine. Now, just to clear up the point, intestinal permeability refers to a barrier feature closely linked to what we call the intestinal commensal microbiota, the microbes, the probiotics as you know them, such as gut microbiota, mucus layer alterations, epithelial damage. These can cause intestinal permeability. An imbalance of gut microbiota, mucus layer alterations, epithelial damage can upset this intestinal permeability. Intestinal permeability refers to a barrier. Your lifestyle and diet, such as alcohol, energy-dense foods, can increase intestinal permeability. Listen to me on this. This is not my opinion. During the holidays, what are people doing? They're drinking more alcohol than normal, and they're eating more foods loaded with salt, sugar, and fat, dense caloric foods. Increases intestinal permeability. If you already have a gut that's leaking, this is going to make it worse. That's why people get upside down and sideways during the holidays with the food and the drinking and the stress and from flying and relatives and whatnot and this and that. I'm trying to paint a picture here. Makes sense, and it's based on science. This is not my opinion. Dr. Byrd, welcome back.
Thank you.
So the Silverbiotics from American Biotech Labs can help keep the bacteria and the viruses somewhat in check that might be leaking into the bloodstream from a leaky gut, yes?
Yes.
All right. So why did I say going into messages, quit making your silver at home in a bathtub?
Because it's a silver that settles in the system quickly. It doesn't have enough frequency or energy to stay suspended in your body, so it has no other choice but to fall in the body. So you have to drink too much of it usually to make it work, and people don't know how to dose it.
So why do they turn blue?
Because it's a stain. That's the color of silver. It's a bluish gray
And
color.
it doesn't go away.
Does not go away. And
you said somebody yesterday you bumped into?
Yeah, I was in a natural food store down in Bradenton, Florida, and they had a customer just come in that day who was blue. They turn this grayish blue. It's not the bright cobalt blue like a Smurf person.
What's in the movies? The
Blue Man Group or somebody like that. It's not that
Gary.
dark.
What's the name of the
It's a gray blue color.
The series in the movies.
Oh, thank you.
Avatar's
Stephen.
one, but the other one.
They're not that blue.
The guy with the hands, the metal comes out of his hands.
Oh, the
Power Rangers or something?
X-Men movies.
X-Men.
Yeah, the lady that turns blue. We're not talking.
No. It's not that color blue, but it's this grayish, bluish tint.
And it doesn't go
That's
away.
A color. It does not go away. I've personally seen many people here in Florida making their own silver, and it builds
Stop
up
it.
over time.
They don't need to do that.
No, they don't. Now, when they have something that works faster, you don't need as much of it, and it's got science attached to it.
I'm going to repeat. Lifestyle and diet will cause your intestinal, if you suffer, and by the way, if you have colitis, diverticulitis, Crohn's disease, IBS, IBD, IB whatever, IB sick, if you have any of that, a leaky gut will make things even worse, and usually is associated with those diseases because it's destroying the epithelial lining, the mucosa. This all goes together. This is so simple, but so complicated, but so meaningful in the end. This is one of the most important things you can do, in my opinion, and I need to take my own advice.
How about the little purple pill that's heavily used?
Right. The little purple pill is done to diminish the production of acid in your stomach so that it doesn't get backwashed into your esophagus because your lower esophageal sphincter is not closing. The problem with that is that acid is there to kill bacteria and viruses. It's there to help make certain micronutrients. It's there to maintain balance, homeostasis in your digestive system. And you're eliminating the acid. In the long run, you will suffer from that.
That's right.
And it also causes liver damage, kidney damage.
Right. And I'm not going to mention any brand because I don't want to get sued.
Right.
Does silver help with any of what we're talking about?
Yes, because all these leakages and inflammation are usually related to, a lot of times, bacterial infections. So that's where the silver can help, and it can reduce inflammation so the body can repair itself.
Itis means infection.
And inflammation.
And inflammation. Something is causing the inflammation. An injury, an infection, it can be a bacterium or a virus that's causing the inflammation or the infection, or you get injured.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And by the way, the majority of your immune system is caught up in your gut. Oh, my.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Talk Nutrition. Here's the LTN health question of the day. Of all things, I've been talking about leaky gut, intestinal permeability, intestinal barrier, and the holidays and how it can be just lead to a disaster. Here's the question. When we're talking about intestinal permeability, there's a hint, or leaky gut. When we're talking about leaky gut, what part of the digestive system are we talking about? Are we talking about the stomach, or are we talking about the small intestine? Which I gave you the answer just inadvertently. So you can win a $25 gift card with the right answer. When we talk about leaky gut, are we talking about the stomach, or are we talking about, really in specific, the small intestine? Leaky gut. What's it referred to? Which one of those two? Here's the number to call. You have the right answer. You win a $25 supplement gift card. That's nice for this time of year.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
I just find it so, how can I put this, Dr. Byrd? Ironic that something as that one single thing, the gut lining, the cells, that the epithelial cells that constitute that mucosa, where the junctions aren't tight between the cells when they start to open up, how that one single thing is implicated with a host of diseases and disorders. Some even say they implicate the inflammation associated with multiple sclerosis and all the autoimmune diseases from all the different forms of arthritis. It goes on and on. There's one thing that the body despises. It does not want anything in the bloodstream that doesn't belong there. It will rebel and just go after you, and it's almost like a punishment. What do you mean you let your gut get leaky? I'll make you pay for that.
Yeah.
And boy, you pay, don't you?
Yes, you do. Very painful.
Tuscaloosa. There's Mary's in
Alabama.
Yeah. Hi, Mary. How are you today? Happy holidays to you and yours.
Thank you. Same to you.
You got a lot of stuff going on down there in Alabama right now in the news. What are y'all putting in the water down there? What's going on down there?
I have no idea. I wish I knew.
My goodness. All the what fors and going ons down there in Alabama. My goodness.
I'm about ready to leave, but I can't.
Politics will give anybody a leaky gut.
I tell you. And then some more.
And then some more. Boy, you're right. Oh, God bless you. You have a good sense of humor. How are you doing, Mary? You doing okay?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah. You have family around with you this time of year? You're not alone, are you?
No, my husband is with me yet.
Oh, that's wonderful. Every day's a blessing, isn't it?
It certainly is. It really is.
Yeah.
He'll be 87 the day after Christmas, and I'll be 83 the 5th of December.
Well, my goodness, congratulations to both of you. Are you eating a lot of greens and whatnot?
Oh, I try to eat healthy as much as possible.
Yeah. What food do you think? What's the most unhealthy food that you think you eat?
I eat my fried fish.
Pie fish?
No.
Fried fish.
Fried fish. Why do you want to fry it?
I have no idea.
Because your mama did it.
There you go. I was brought up like that.
Your mama fried it. That's why.
I was brought up like that.
Why don't you bake it? You can bake it.
Yeah, I'm going to start. I will start baking.
Well, listen. At this point, you're going to be 83. Who am I to give you some advice? You
never get too old and you never get too young.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Try baking it once in a while.
I will.
See if you like that. Yeah, you probably cook very much like your mom did.
I've tried to get away from that.
Do you?
I try to get away from that. Yes, sure do.
One of my friends who lives in Little Rock, Arkansas, he used to be a guest on the show. He would always joke and say, you know, down here in the South, Dr. Garko, gravy is a beverage.
When you learn better, you do better.
Yeah, when you learn better, you do better.
Right.
Yeah, you're supposed to do better.
Yeah. So when we talk about leaky gut, are we referring to the stomach or are we referring to the small intestine?
The small intestine, I would think.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You didn't have to take anatomy and physiology to figure that out. You got it right. And listen, I really enjoyed speaking with you. I wish I had more time. You're the exact reason why we do this show. People such as yourself who are good people, caring people, wanting to learn more about their health, trying to find their way. And we appreciate your listenership and we appreciate who you are.
I enjoy your show very much, and I learn a lot from it.
Well, thank you very much. You know, I'm a teacher at heart, but I'm the best student in the class. So we're all here to learn, Mary. And again, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and your family. And if you get a moment, say a prayer for me, will you please?
I most certainly will. I certainly will.
I appreciate that because I know that you have a good line to the Almighty. I can tell.
Oh my goodness! I'm a 15-year cancer survivor.
Yeah, well.
And God has brought me through it, and He will do you the same way.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm 1 year so far. So
I keep everybody lifted in my prayers. I really do.
15 years you've been a cancer survivor. Well, congratulations.
Yes.
I admire you.
And thank God for you, too. I really do.
Well, thank you. That's an honor. That's the nicest thing somebody has said to me in a very, very long time.
Well,
thank you so much.
I mean it from my heart. I really do.
Well, thank you. God bless you. I love you.
All right. Same to you.
See you next time. All right. I don't know what to say with that.
That's great. She's a sweetheart.
Took my heart.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, Dr. Byrd. And you have a beautiful daughter, by the way. She's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And you're a good mom. You took her to Australia. Took her on a boat where she couldn't eat proper, but that, it's all right. It all works out. You made it back here to the show.
Absolutely.
We want to know, Gary and I want you to know how much we appreciate you, and we always look forward to you, and you make the show better. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Remember, your health is your wealth,